Okay, let's see if this is going to launch properly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine. I have to wait for a moment to see if this is going to launch properly. And when it does, then I have to what? Shut myself up. This is the Spirit Guide Weekly Divine Guidance Read. It is for the week of March 8th through the 14th, 2021. We're going to see what our spirit guides have to say. Last week was a wild ride with a lot of confusion around it, and I've done a full clearing in my home to make sure we can get some better messages. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that share button. It really does help the channel. And if you hit the post bell notification, you will know every time I post a video. I finally have been able to get back to recording them on a fairly regular basis. So they will be launching on a regular basis throughout March. I have 4 piles and a pick a card presentation for you. Please don't forget that the Spirit Guide Weekly messages, they will manifest over a course of 1 to 4 weeks usually. I've had things, some of these messages end up being for me, and some of them will be immediate and some of them will take a little bit of time. But these are messages your spirit guides would like you to be aware of for the date range that we're talking about, which is March 8th through the 14th, so that you can be prepared. We are not supposed to have a roadmap to our existence, but we are supposed to have guideposts, and that is the best use of tarot. Tarot is meant for confirmation, not determination. I have 4 piles in a pick a card presentation. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Concentrate, see which one calls out to you. That is the message you are most meant to receive this week. I do ask that you try and use your third eye versus always picking by the number, simply because it doesn't work well, it doesn't marry well with my particular energy. Okay, I'm going to turn on my ring light, so there will be a change in light level. And then we're going to get the what? Traditional bad sound. And hopefully sailing backwards smoothly. Ever since I started doing these live, it has really freed up a lot of my time too. Hopefully you've all had a chance to pick out your pile. Just one more second, make sure I'm in the frame, get out the world's grossest candle snuffer. How are we doing? Pretty good. All right, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. I hope everybody is doing well. There we go. We'll go over what your candles are anointed with at the time of your reading. I don't like it to influence your decision, but part of the reason that I ask that you don't pick by number is that I do have each pile have a slightly different emphasis in different areas of life. All right. And I chose the colors today for the very complex reason that I thought they were pretty. All right, here we go. Golden Wheel is going to be bringing us to the first predictive spread. Let's get everybody else out of the way. All right. March 2021 has been a very interesting energy so far. I'm hoping that things are going to get going in the right kind of energetic flow. All indications are that they will be soon. Let's get going with the pile number 1. I will edit in timestamps after the broadcast. Be aware it's one of those days I will not be able to get to it for a few hours. So if you're encountering this before I get to it, I am aware that there are no timestamps and that I will get to them as soon as I can. All right, your candle group number 1 is wishing oil. And I had that correspond with red, which is for security, passion, love, a whole bunch of different things that the colors in candle magic have a particular meaning. They have for astrological meanings, they have for chakra meanings, they have also areas of life, and red can also be love. So wishing oil is about manifestation. It works very well with magic. Let's get going with your oracle cards. I have Unfinished Symphony, more to come, more to come. Thinker. Okay. Hidden depths, you only see the surface, look beyond. Well, that's a call to meditate. The loving man with hidden motivations. Not my favorite card. Gilded regret. I have wise leader. Gosh, this card is just a stalker. That's from the Sacred Traveler. A lot of people in my, if you're in my collective, if you're drawn to me as a reader, you're almost certainly a highly empathic person with developing psychic gifts and actually my mouth is not working today, manifestation abilities as well, which means you can do magic. I also have my dear friend. This is an interesting particular card from the Mystical Moments Oracle. It is about both our spirit guides coming to us in animal form and also working in harmony with nature. I have wait for winter. During the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your heartfelt wishes. Well, that's good with wishing oil, as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. Intention is so important in magic. It genuinely is. It's part of the reason I don't do baneful magic. And I have make no judgments, okay, with security. Well, this is kind of a fun draw. In that make no judgments, it's fine to have personal judgment, like, hey, you don't belong in my life, but it's not okay to judge the actions of others unless they're directly impacting you, and it does have to do with your personal judgment. And it's simply because we don't know what other people have been through, and judgmental energy is also a blocking energy. Thinker, hidden depths. Looks like analysis is the word of the day. All right, let's go. Gilded regret is another. The shadow influences come to us from the dark mirror. Those are, we all exist best in balance with our darker energies. Part of the problem with the light worker movement, you may be a light worker, starseed, or a light warrior if you're in this collective, is that it tries to, like, going towards light and love is beautiful, and it's so helpful, and it helps raise your vibe. However, we all do have darker energies, and we're meant to have a state of balance. Here we go. You are, if you're drawn to this collective, you have essentially a calling in this life. That's why I get the wise leader card so much. You are a form of leader. And it is important to be in touch with the things that, kind of hold you back, as well as 10 of Cups in reverse, as well as propel you forth in life. That I have a saying, it's not a very eloquent one, but it is that which makes you awesome can also make you suck. So your personal power can also result in a very fiery temper of equal, opposite energies. Everything contains its opposite. If you're a very vibrant person, if you're a very compelling person, then you can probably be a very controlling person. You can be a very commanding person. And that also has, we have to find the ways in which our personal power can lead us towards not destruction, but not a higher vibration. And that's what living in balance is about. It's also part of that make no judgments. Judgmental energy is a lower vibration because it does block out flow. Let's get going here. I've got the moon, which is things being hidden motivations. A page of swords in reverse. So I get that. Boy, I get that card exactly in that spot for the group number 1 people a lot. It's one of the cards where it can be about doing research, and we've got some of that here. It can also be about essentially spying on somebody's social media. With the 10 of Cups in reverse as the querent card, it's a time where you've just been struggling with a feeling of dissatisfaction overall. That can be the happy family card. It can also be the card for divorces. Let's get going here. 7 of Wands in reverse. All right. That can be it's a choosing your battles type of energy, knowing what will respond to your energy and what will not. King of Wands in the upright is a manifesting energy. It can also be, now it can be a fire sign. If you watch me regularly, I really don't call out the astrological implications of most of the cards because I do such an extended Celtic cross that by the time I get it all down on the table, there's every suit's out there. So I've got the 4 of Swords in reverse, which is action. Boy, manifesting in action. What do we got going? Ace of Swords in the upright, justice, clarity, truth. Lovers in the upright. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. 2 of Wands in the upright. Tower in reverse. I like that. It's kind of like a clear field ahead of you as we move forward. Ace of Cups in reverse. Oh, I like that. That can be frustration and anger. It's not here. Ace of Wands in the upright. Whoa. Okay, let's keep going here. Group number 1. Already it's looking like the Star in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. It looks like after a time of frustration and being drained and being prevented from progress, Things are starting to move kind of significantly. The Hanged Man in the upright, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in the upright, Knight of Cups in the upright, Five of Wands in reverse, 10 of Wands in reverse. Good. One more. Knight of Swords in the upright. Okay. So what's coming in here is that you have an opportunity to move forward with a project that has stalled. It's been very frustrating for you, but you are being asked to make sure that you consider everything. Don't do anything hastily here. The Knight of Swords in the upright can be a traveling card. It can be air travel. You've got two knights. That's a lot of progress. They're both in the upright. You are being asked to make sure that you don't rush any processes at all. Make sure that you are taking the time. You might be a little prone to anxiety if you're in my collective as well. A lot of empaths have a lot of trauma in their background. We do choose our existences. And for whatever reason, like very powerful people have a tendency to choose very difficult existences because it teaches us a better relationship to power. And that's not something we talk about a great deal. And that does not mean that, hey, you were punished with this, difficult childhood, difficult marriage, difficult whatever, in order to curtail your power. But it is to give you a sense of what it feels like to be on the receiving end of a misuse of power. So it is a lesson that we do choose. It is us. It's not the divine saying, whoa, you're sentenced to detention. Be a little bit, you're going to be excited. You're going to be excited. There is an opportunity coming to you. There's an offer with it as well. Wait and make sure that you explore all options, get all information. We are still in winter. This does pertain to your long-term security, and everything here looks so good. You have been, there's a little bit of hopelessness, there's some frustration. You have been feeling a little bit left out in the cold. It feels like nothing is working for you. That is actually shifting. And again, please try to remember it is not personal, it is the world at large. Things are starting to budge and things are starting to move. I love what's coming up. And it's not very far away. I'd put this within, by the end of March. You're just so much happier. You're there's a relief. That's what this is. It's a very relieved energy. But first comes a period where, because I think you've been chomping at the bit, trying to get something going, don't move with haste. I think that's what got you into a slight pickle in the past, that gilded regret, the loving man and hidden motivations. This could be a former relationship. It could be a current one. This is a card to remember that sometimes hidden motivations are not bad. Some people have altruistic intentions. Sometimes they're trying to be as helpful as they can be. But this is a card that calls on you to use informed trust, meaning blind trust, it can decimate us. It is important to approach the world with the energy you would like to live in. So try to be open and kind and compassionate, but also understand that that's not you. The assumption that everybody is living in that same energy is imperiling. So please make sure that you are practicing appropriate levels of, I don't want to say cynicism because it's far too negative, but appropriate levels of waiting for somebody to actually earn your trust versus granting it just because you like their smile or their voice. I have somebody coming into your life who they might be a little bit of a charmer, is the thing. That's the thing with the King of Wands as well. If you are, by the way, one of the interpretations of this is a new romantic pairing. So be very careful with that. Your personal security is just increasing and increasing. One of the things I've been talking about a little bit is that our guides actually frequently, if they cannot communicate with us through meditation, through being able to talk to us in our dreams, what they will do sometimes is essentially choose a human mouthpiece. You'll be kind of guided and nudged towards people to have conversations. Sometimes, like in readings, half the time I'm functioning for somebody's guides. You will be sent to somebody to receive, it's not marching orders exactly, but it is information about how to proceed on your path. You can kind of tell when somebody has said something that really catches your attention and really resonates. And if you're wondering what that feeling is, it is somebody bringing you a guided message. That is another interpretation of this. Particularly in the next 2 weeks, pay particular attention to what is being said to you about you. Not just like the world in general, but if someone is making an observation of gifts or talents that you have, listen carefully. Your guides are actually trying to communicate through other people. I like this, like, kind of, it's caution. It's caution, but it's caution with optimism that I'm picking up around a situation where, like, there's an opening. There's an opening coming to you with increase, and it's in 2 areas of your life. It's both financial and then it's personal as well. Even in the personal area, because that Knight of Cups can be the romantic dreamer. Even in the personal area, please be careful. Simply, and that's not to warn you against the person who may be coming towards you, but rather you're just on the other side of healing a great deal. And that's when we have to be very, very careful indeed. Particularly now, empaths are particularly prone to codependency because other people are so important to us. When we form relationships, we have a tendency to make that person's feelings more important than our own. That is why healing from codependency is so very important, where you have appropriate boundaries, understanding that, yes, you want the person you're with to be happy, but never at a cost to yourself, to your self-esteem, to your worth or your place in this world. I don't think you're in any danger of falling into a codependent energy, but you need to always be aware of it. Once you have been codependent, because it functions like an addiction, you will always have to approach close relationships, even friendships, with an eye towards making sure that it is reciprocal, that you both, give and take, because that's a balanced relationship. Again, we are going to function best when we're in a balanced relationship. Balanced energy. I think you have opportunity coming up in that area. And if what I'm getting here is accurate, you have a history of really defining your life by your relationship first. And it's fine to be in love. It's fine. It's wonderful. It's fun. It's simply, you still have to have other things in your life that are, if not equally important, so important as to draw the sole focus away from that relationship. And that's very important for anyone who has recovered from codependency. Make sure you have a diversified experience. Make sure you have as many passions, pursuits, and again, I'm always saying this, friendships. And it can be challenging to make friends. I was just telling a client earlier, who seems as introverted as I am. I am very introverted. It doesn't really show, but I am very introverted. If you're not super, you don't find people energizing to be around in big groups, even interacting in communities, even hitting a thumbs up button, leaving a comment on somebody else's comment, that's a form of exchange. It's important to be with your collective because it actually empowers you. Like energy will attract like energy, and like energy will amplify like energy. All right, I have the root chakra. Security is the word of the day, the garden and the gate. Don't be afraid of change and new things. It's important for chapters to close out so that new ones can be written. Never's a very definitive word. It's a little too rigid. It's unyielding as well. Try not to fear change. The Tower in reverse is a managed change. Sometimes it's about rock bottom and building from the ground up. It does not appear to be about rock bottom this time. Goddess of the moon, walking away, blossoming abundance, and caring connections. This walking away energy, there is a lot of movement as well. And please consider releasing relationships that no longer serve you. And releasing doesn't mean finality and closure. It's just some people come into our lives for a brief period of time. We learn what we're meant to from them. I was just talking about guides speaking through other people. And then, like, people are supposed to come and go from our life. Actually, allowing people to come and go is essentially one of the things that will allow new relationships to come to you. We have to release to receive. If you have been, if it almost feels like you've had a revolving door of people in the last few years, it's not you. It is everybody is bringing you a little bit of a puzzle, a little piece, and you're heading towards kind of a significant connection here, but you are being asked to release a couple of relationships that are no longer serving you. And again, that's not about closure. It's just if you've outgrown a friendship, if you've outgrown a connection, if somebody from the past who, like, if you met somebody when you're 10 years old and they're your best friend, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is that we really are, people are meant to come and go. Not everyone is meant to be an intimate. And intimate does not mean sex. It means allowed to be close to us. It is not everyone is meant to be particularly close to us. We can have brief relationships that are very close. They will serve their purpose, and then it's time to release them. Try not to hold on to that which is trying to depart your life. Accept it, and it will increase the flow of blessings towards you. You have blossoming abundance and several cards of security. If you are at all concerned about money at this particular time, please understand there is every indication here that you are moving into a far more secure energy, partially because of all the healing work that you have been doing. You are very, like, you've been trying to find your own individual voice, and I think it's working quite well. Can I get some cards? There we go. Okay. I have unexpected visitors, wide open. Wide open is that released energy as well. Unexpected visitors can be people, but it can also be new relationships. Deep freeze. Okay, why are we being held in stasis on that? 2 more times. Anything else? And cool. Crap. Stuck in the mud and deep freeze. Rescue. Okay, after this period of extreme stagnation, it hasn't really been stagnation. You've actually done tons of energetic work. You've done a lot of emotional processing. You've done inner reflection. You've been trying to find a good path. But to you, it feels like nothing has happened, because in the material world, in the 3D world, you're held back from so much. Know that very, very, very soon, things are changing, if not dramatically, perceivably, which means momentum is starting to be gained. But you were held in this deep freeze, stuck in the mud, stasis energy, not because, well, life is derailed and you're never getting it back, but because there was progress for you to make in an area that you have a tendency to neglect when 3D activities are in your life. And that can include new jobs, it can include new relationships, it can leisure activities. It's not that the universe caused COVID and lockdown in order to send us all to our rooms so we could think about what we did. A little bit it did, but it is also simply that it is a time of activation. We're headed into another time of activation, my little light worker group. And you were held in stasis so that you could learn some lessons that will help you deal with the power that is coming to you. The work that you're doing is not simply like, I'm here to accomplish my life lessons. You have a purpose in this life. And the work you've been asked to do is helping you find that purpose. The dear friend, I guess I'll just look at them. Wow. I'm going to pick those up again. It makes sense, but it's kind of a long journey. Give me a couple. Not half the deck, please. I'm just checking what your romantic energies are. I do have somebody coming up. The King of Wands figure, though, can be somebody with romantic feelings, healing family issues, reconciliation. I think some of you are going to have someone return from your past, and it may be somebody that you've done a lot of work to heal from that particular connection. Separately, I have somebody new coming in. I have somebody new coming into your life, and you're being asked to not just examine their motives, examine yours. Like your reconciliation in somebody from the past. Please don't go towards another relationship to try and heal from a connection that didn't work out, or like you're trying to recover from a breakup. And the sole reason is that it will essentially carry the relationship energy forward into your next relationship. We are supposed to repair and resolve before we move forward into a new energy. It's fine to have casual relationships, but it's not like a casting call. If you want to have a relationship in your life and something didn't work out with somebody, first of all, it kind of looks like you're not done. But secondly, it also means that don't superimpose what you believed that person is or will be in your life onto your next person. And you're at there's a little bit of peril there. The King of Wands is a difficult figure. He has an ardent interest, but he can get ahead of steam around things that can be difficult. Also good manifesting energy. If you've been working hard to manifest things, know that almost every day you should be noticing something that has been coming from that. All right, that was group number 1. I will be moving on to group number 2. Okay. Again, if you'd like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I'd love a chance to read for you in real life. Let's get going on pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. Remember, I will be editing in timestamps after the broadcast. It will be about 3 or 4 hours from now. I'm very sorry. I'm just a little booked this evening. I get to them as soon as I can. Pile number 2. Let's talk about what's on your candle. Truth serum. Whenever I get this on me, I learn things all day long. This is from Inexplicable Things. I'm not affiliated. I really like her energy, and she's very compatible with me. The first group was Art of the Root. I recommend those for beginning practitioners or really advanced ones, because your energy will overtake that very easily. With Inexplicable Things, it depends on the type of work I'm doing, but she's incredibly powerful. Every now and then I have a slight conflict depending on the type of magic, and I need to use a different conjure oil, but they're great people and they have great products. Let's get going with this. All right, let's go with your oracle cards. Regeneration. A leg up. That's that protection energy. Be present. Use the hours. Don't count them. People who are prone to anxiety are always trying to look for the next, like, make this happen so it can be over with. You will have peace. You will feel better in your existence, and you will receive more information and ability to change your reality around you if you can relax into this. I only have control over right here and right now. I can glance towards the future, but my attention, my focus, my energy needs to be in the here and now. A leg up with regeneration, huh? Milestone. Transformation. Okay, group number 2, what's happening with you? Naked before the stars. I have activation energy again in the next few weeks. If I was just telling group number 1, and I have a feeling we're repeating it for each group, because my collective, we all have things in common. We're either high-level empaths and developing psychics and magicians already, or you're going to become that. You're being activated for that. Part of the reason I will always be a fairly small channel is I attract a very particular type of person. You're in a time of activation again. And activations are not bad. It's just that we kind of have to offload things before we're allowed to take on new things. So if the last 3 weeks in particular have been nothing but frustration, there is actually a reason, and it is clearing up now. Rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. Stranded. That's that. Now that can be like on a deserted isle, feeling isolated, orphaned. It can also quite simply be your progress was stopped. Just what I was just talking about. If it feels like I pushed and I pushed and I pushed and I pushed and I focused and I tried to manifest and I did everything I was told and nothing budged, instead of thinking it's not working, ask yourself why you're not being allowed to budge. That is one of the key things. Tree wisdom. The tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sound it makes. And this can be about music. It is also about trying to get out into the fresh air and ground. It is also being attuned to signs that come to us, with sometimes in synchronicities. I tell this to clients frequently. I actually can do some spirit mediumship. I've never been very comfortable with it because, you know, frankly, like I was a really fearful little kid and I was afraid of ghosts, probably because I could see them. I don't do a ton of spirit mediumship. I will do it in spirit guide reads when somebody's earthbound guides are also their relatives. That's where I have the tendency to do it. But when it started happening, I made a deal with my guides. It's like, I don't want to see anything. Like, please don't start freaking me out. I don't want to turn around in the shower and see another person there. You're welcome to talk to me, but you need to manifest in a different manner. I see animals. I see animals and flowers and a couple of other things. You can ask for the form that you are most comfortable with. I have miracles. Oh, that's a lot of blessings and miracles. Laugh at your demons over and over again. Pile number 2, you are very, very prone to getting that card. And that is about, most of us have a lot of trauma. If you're in my collective, you've had a lot of trauma. I'm not making light of it because my God, did I too. I did as well, but it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. I was telling group number 1, most of us who come here with a lot of power will have chosen very difficult existences to begin with because it teaches us a better relationship to what an abuse of power feels like. And why would we want to know that? If you are naturally more powerful than other people, if you are not taught what abuse of power would feel like in an empathetic way as empaths, it's very tempting to abuse powers that we have, is the whole point of that. You are learning a lesson about being cautious with the personal power that you possess. And you did choose it. It was personally chosen by you versus inflicted upon you by some, you know, high school principal in the sky. Let's get going for group number 2, please. Last week was a very strange week in this read, but it's a lot clearer this time. I've done a ton of clearing work. I wonder if that's stuck in the mud energy from the last group is about that. I have the King of Pentacles in the upright. I have the Devil in the upright. 7 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, can I get some more, please? Can I get some more, please? True serum, huh? Oh my goodness. Security is one of the things that the King of Pentacles can be in charge of. It can be it could be a Capricorn male with that with that combination. I don't usually call out astrological signs. Here we go. Okay. Ace of Wands in reverse. High Priestess in reverse. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. King of Wands in the upright. A lot of kings. See what we can get going here. Okay. This is the Muse Tarot. I chose it because it's a very feminine dominant energy. It doesn't have kings, it has muses. The Star in the upright. 6 of Cups in reverse. Pardon me. 10 of Wands in reverse. Knight of Wands in the upright. The Chariot in the upright. Wow. 3 of Cups in reverse. 6 of Wands in the upright. Hey, group number 2. Miracles, 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 huh? Transformation. That's fitting. Hey, so again, sometimes it's gonna be a little bit like I'm repeating myself from group to group. Since we are, most of us light workers, most of us are star seeds, and then there's some light warriors as well. And those are like the leaders of the group. We all have leadership abilities, but like the light warriors are the ones who are like, hey, you came with a ridiculous amount of courage for a reason. And if you have anxiety issues, by the way, that has nothing to do with fear. Like some of the most anxious people I know, like they can also be the most courageous. Anxiety is about basically intuitive ability that is turned in on you and kind of started like acting like a pressure cooker. Knight of Swords in reverse, 2 of Wands in the upright, World in the upright, Strength in the upright. Knight of Cups in the upright. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Good. I like that as a healing energy. 1 more. 2 of Voices in reverse. That's great. That's an open third eye and good choices available to you. Lots of choices to be made. We are in a time of activation. And again, I'm going to tell this to the second group. If you feel like nothing happened in the last 2 months and you're like, well, I'm broken, I can't get anything to happen any longer, no matter how hard I try. It seems like this particular collective is likely to be experiencing another download and another activation, which means that your ability to manifest, to discern a couple of other things is leveling up again. And you're held in that time period of nothing happening so you could continue with your inner work. Be present. It is the thing that, like, this group and I struggle with as well. Anything I say about this group in any of my groups, it likely applies to me as well. What have we got going here? A difficult relationship from the past caused you, it injured you. But you've done all the work that you're supposed to. You've been spending kind of a lot of time alone. Most of us have, but you're not like reaching out in as many ways as you need to. Interact online. That can include, like I said, commenting on videos, commenting on TikTok things, like trying to interact with like-minded individuals will actually amplify your personal energy. We are part of a collective. We do best when we're all tuned into the same frequency. After that period of feeling like you couldn't get anywhere, more is happening with you. We have a complete cycle on something which is about healing from some trauma in the past. Your psychic abilities, oh my God. Okay. You should start getting more images with them. That's one of the things that's coming in here. A lot of the time, people who are really quite psychic, first of all, until such time as you've done some healing, it can be difficult to really count on it. But most of us dismiss it as being imagination. Or I used to, like, it took me a really absurdly long time to be like, oh, wait, I'm psychic? Oh, I'm psychic. I thought I was just particularly good at figuring out what was going to happen. And I didn't ever like kind of make that connection. You're going to be coming, there's more information that's going to be coming with your intuition. You could be developing clairaudience. Oh, I just got a terrible ringing, which means that you're likely to be developing clairaudience. You could also be, if you have pay particular attention to the images that come into your mind as you're trying to, sometimes it'll be as you're talking to people, sometimes it'll be as you're trying to envision the future. Relax and kind of, even if it's something like, oh, I had a childhood memory, pay attention to what the memory is that bubbled up. A lot of the ways that clairvoyance begins to develop is by giving us information from our own lives to recognize first. And it's trying to inform us of something. So as a, for instance, and I tell this story to some clients sometimes, I was reading online one time and just drawing like, a card here and there. One card, I was only allowed to draw one card for each person. I put down a card and I was talking to the clients and I said, God, this is the weirdest thing. It had nothing to do with the card. I had an image flash into my mind of a graveyard where I had attended a funeral. And I was looking at it, nothing to do with the card. And I said, I think you're going to have to go to a funeral. Don't worry. It's not somebody that you were close to, but it's coming up shortly. And the client thought I was insane and came back 3 days later and was like, well, you're right. I have to go to a funeral. And it was it was a coworker, I believe. So there was no emotional peril in there, but it didn't come to me with seeing the funeral she was going to go to. It came to me with a flash of a memory of a funeral. And that's how clairvoyance can start, is with pay attention to what flashes into your mind. Even if it seems completely unrelated, kind of like the tarot, there are things in those images that flash through your mind that inform and are trying to illustrate what is coming to you. Do we have anything else? Transformation is all over this. Regeneration, a leg up. Keep in mind, you're protected. You are protected. Please don't forget that you're protected. If you're in my collective, then you have kind of higher level. Not that people have lower level. It's just that you've been honing a skill and trying to tap in, and it's kind of like climbing a staircase. You're getting closer and closer to like ascended masters and things like that. You have protection. Joy to personal healing and happiness and action. Swift, swift. The world. Want one more. Envy. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, this guy's not in it. You can just, the energy feels wrong on it, and not because it conflicts with absolutely everything, and then it was just very empty feeling. The Magician and the Mirror and the connection stayed behind on that. All right, that could mean that there is a significant relationship in your life that is going to have an influence, but it is not a direct influence on this particular area. Group number 2, we were talking about truth serum. You're just kind of, I'm not trying to be scary or anything, prepare. There's a new beginning. There's a new beginning in your life. It's incredibly positive. And it is, I do believe, happening within, gosh, it's 3 weeks is what I'm getting in my head, but I think it's a little closer in than that. There's a new beginning energy, and it is going to start with an awareness of greater and greater powers. In terms of like any kind of specific details for the coming week, there's actually tremendous, I'm going to put this down again for a second. Yeah. The reason being that I kind of didn't get to the read on that because I got distracted by what I was saying. All right. What do we got for the coming week? Anything we need to know about? It's a good time to make plans for your future. You've been holding off on that. You can't really, you're having trouble envisioning a future for yourself. A lot of things that you put into motion are going to be coming to you more and more. Be very careful with this devil in the upright energy. Be careful with substances. Alcohol is the enemy of psychic services. It is a lower vibrational substance. Cannabis is actually fine. Like it's a higher vibrational substance, but I happen to be in an area where that is legal. If you're not, please don't go towards alcohol. It's a depressant. It can be, and it also kind of clouds the psychic eye because it's lower vibrational. There's a lot of happiness happening here. Healing energy. You're going to be happier. You're going to have progress. And it is going to, that's a lot of success energy as well. A lot of the stressors in your life are going to be not dissolving exactly, but being pushed aside almost with the accumulated force of these, stalled months. So if it feels like you've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and it hasn't yielded, you've actually been building up some energy to really shift something in your life that will cause you to move into essentially your next elevation in life. We are all in the process of evolving. I don't believe that we are trying to transcend this experience, and I don't think anybody in my collective, there is no universal answer. People in my collective came here to do something. So we're supposed to try and marry our higher consciousness with this, 3D form to try and help this life form evolve. We're supposed to marry our divine power with the ability to enact change and to use that particular power within this world, trying to help essentially people evolve, because we don't evolve well in this life form. We just don't. We have a lot of conflicting emotions, and we're not gifted with, empaths have tremendous emotional intelligence. I was telling that to the last group too. Why do narcissists and sociopaths prey on empaths so much? It's because we possess empathy, something that they do not. But empathy is actually emotional intelligence. I think I'm going to have to do a video on that because it's not something that people seem to kind of make the connection between. Is that the reason that people who have those particular personality disorders are so drawn to empaths is that we possess something they quite literally do not. And so they attempt to harness your power. All right, so let's see. I'm going to draw some romance angels because I always do. We'll do this as well. Let's get some enchanted map for group number 2. Is there anything else they need to know for particularly next week? There's a little bit of if you're expecting things to happen suddenly, That's not how this is happening. It is a thing coming in here, a thing coming in there, as the details fill in on kind of a great big painting that you've been trying to create over the course of probably about the last year. Cleaning house, compass. That is always, 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 it is important when you have power. It is very important to have a standard around your own behavior. Coming to life, that's a transformational energy as well. All right, group number 2, more of the same. Make sure that you act with integrity in all that you do. Cleaning house, there's a releasing of older energies that you've been in the process of for kind of a long time, but like it should be pretty squeaky clean pretty darn soon. And there is that change. There's still more change coming, but it's change that you've been trying to bring into being versus like change that comes along and emotionally mugs you. Do we have any romance angels there? There was this very slight hint of a relationship. There we go. It's been a little backburnered in most of my reads now, and I'm not really sure why. I kind of don't decide why. Here we go. And in fact, nothing's fallen out, so we're going to force the issue ever so slightly. Codependency, that is probably why. Most of us are healing from codependency. It is not an insult. Empaths are very, very prone to it. We care so, so much about the people that we're with. We want to, like, we have this healing energy, which is a lot of love to give. Those narcissists and sociopaths who have a tendency to be so drawn to us, it almost always forms into codependency. Now, you can meet another empath, and unfortunately, since we are super prone to codependency, like you can unfortunately fall into a codependent energy with another empath as well. Be on the lookout. You did all that healing for a reason. Separation and then new love. Nothing imminent here, but separation time on the time apart from your partner is on the horizon. It is possible this is the twin flame group. For whatever reason, it has not been a time of focusing on that. Okay, group number 2, that was your reading for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below, and I would love a chance to read for you in real life. Here we go. Let's get going on to group number 3. Once again, I will edit in timestamps after the broadcast. This is going along at a pretty brisk clip, so I might have time to do it before my next appointment, and I might not. And if I don't, it'll be a few hours, and I do apologize. But I will get them in as soon as I can. All right, Insurance Agent John. There's your weekly fire and his weekly shout out. Moving on to group number 3. All right, group number 3, let's get talking about what's on your candle. Yours is fast cash. Not only is this about bringing money to you, it's an excellent, this was from Inexplicable Things, again, not affiliated. This is my favorite fast cash. Boy, did all of their money related things have a tendency to just be like, boom, there it is. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. By the way, if you don't know what you're doing, please do not do magic. It is important to learn what you're doing because it's tempting when you're powerful. Just make sure everything's energetically cleansed or accidentally you're drawing to you. Everything contains its opposite. So just be careful with it. But Inexplicable Things, when you're ready to start, they have really, really, really good products. And I really like them as people too. I like the people at Three Crows Conjure. I like Conjured Cardia. Conjured Cardia is the one that I have a tendency to be the least compatible with because she does a form of conjure. I don't, but she's amazingly powerful and her products are amazing as well. Okay, let's get this moved over here. Fast cash is also about making things manifest here in the physical realm. Clean it up. Round and round. I'm going to put that in the other direction. Round and round, clean it up. Success, bloom wherever you are planted. Behind a mask, a consciousness of lack. We're going to do that again. Consciousness of lack behind a mask. I know what that's about. I have Alone in the World, second group to get something about feeling a little bit fogged in. Go slow, take time. Listen. Boy, that's a lot of slow your roll. Moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. Looking interesting. Success. Oh, wow, love it. 2 cards of success for the fast cash group. I don't look at any of these cards beforehand, and I anoint the candles and then draw the cards. Keep your commitments. Okie dokie. Particularly social ones. My friends used to joke, because I'm exceptionally introverted, but I make friends fairly well. I just do best with people like one-on-one or in twos. They used to joke that, like, if you invited me to a party, they'd try to figure out like when I would cancel. Would it be the day of, or like, because it would freak me out, and I just didn't like to gather with other people in those large groups. There we go. Keep your commitments. So that's what I'm talking about, is that I would frequently avoid things that were actually good for me. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. It's important to have social energy as well as spiritual. The world in the upright, complete cycle. Temperance is healing. It's also balance. It's also fairness. It's also the card for Sagittarius's. What's going on there? What's going on? Okay. 7 of Cups in the upright. 8 of Wands in the upright. Okay, keep going. What have I got? All right. 5 of Swords in reverse. I've got the Death card in the upright. I've got the 7 of Pentacles in the upright. Death is transformational. That is not necessarily about, it can be closure as well. With the world there, that's complete cycles. So, okay, there we go. The Magician in the upright. 3 of Cups in the upright. Ace of Swords in the upright. The Hermit in reverse. Okay. Alone in the world. 8 of Cups in the upright. 5 of Wands in the upright. 4 of Wands in reverse. 6 of Cups in the upright. King of Cups in reverse. Princess of Swords in the upright. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. 9 of Swords in reverse. Oh, thank goodness. 8 of Swords in reverse. Also, thank goodness. Oh, how am I going to put this? Okay, I've got it. Hold on. You're going to have 3 of Wands in the upright with the Moon in reverse. A lot of clarity around things. There is somebody in your life. It could be a friend or it could be a relative. I don't think it's a partner. It might be an ex-partner. You have somebody who is this behind a mask with a consciousness of lack. They're pretending things are worse than they are. And it can be a little manipulative. They're trying to talk you into doing something. Be careful. Be careful. They're not being completely above board. This round and round and clean it up. There's success all over this, but that go slow and take time and listen. No matter what goes on with this particular person, don't take their word for it, I guess is all I'm saying. More's coming on that, and truth is on the table there as well. What have I got coming up? Kind of a good shifting energy. There's no great big success. Here's the thing. I think you've kind of been in the successful energy for a little bit. There's increase on that. There's gain. Good progress. Manifestation energy has been all over the place. This group did not get activation. The first 2 did. That Death card can be regeneration, but I don't have the other signs for like a significant activation. I think you've been kind of gathering some things to you over the last month, and it's been very gradual, and you kind of didn't notice it. I've got like fears being allayed, anxieties dropping. That if you've been feeling particularly blocked on like manifestations, on your intuition, on your ability to job seek, and a couple of other things, know that like March is looking like your month. It just is. There's so much in terms of your material security, but interpersonal relationships have a little bit of peril attached to them right now. And peril makes it sound much worse than it is. It's just, as things are starting to come to you over the course of the next few weeks, it really will be very refreshing and freeing. Don't get carried away. You know how when like people go off to college or university for their first semester, they can get a little drunk on the freedom. Don't invite in so much change that you throw yourself off balance again. And be careful with this, not telling you appreciation, not telling you, like, I'm not even sure they're aware of it. They're also, oh, okay. Okay. There's also someone who's hiding something that is legitimately quite wrong with them. Not wrong with them like, oh, they're damaged. I mean, there's something going on in their life that they aren't talking to you about. Who are they? Is it a friend? It's a friend. It's a friend or a family member. I don't think that's a romantic connection. Kind of touch base with the people who you haven't heard from in a while. Got good communication energy as well. It's the appreciation, deceit, crap, financial constraints, angel of strength, healer of the ages, and journey. Anybody else? Cornucopia. Okay. If somebody's trying to get you to loan them money, no. Like they're not telling you the truth. And like, it's like, I'm not talking about 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever. I'm talking about if somebody is trying to tell you that they have like financial deprivation in their life, they are wildly exaggerating it to the point of like behind a mask, not telling the truth. Get the full story before that. Listen, but don't act. Appreciation. There's so much coming into your life after. It's actually a little overwhelming. Angel of strength is an overcoming energy. Healer of the ages and journey with cornucopia. You've kind of had to walk through a minefield in order to get to where you are. Certain things have fallen into place in terms of feeling more and more secure, but some things have, like your personal life feels like it's been a little bit, there's more coming in that area, but there's security is the first order of business. Alone in the world, listen, and go slow, take time. I've got reunion energy, I've got manifesting energy, I've got communications here as well, but I've also got a reminder to be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. This is the Magician and the Seven of Cups. Whenever that shows up for my readings, it has tendency to mean things you have been trying to bring to you are coming to you. Be patient with it though. Don't get kind of, I don't want to say drunk on power. It's not like that. Be gentle with yourself. You're actually more fragile than you think. And that's like you've healed and you're starting to, you know how when you have a cut or something, after you first get the stitches out, it's healed, but also if you hit it in just the wrong way, you're going back for more stitches. It's a little bit like that. Proceed with caution and be very careful with this deceptive energy. The other thing is that this group, I think, got this last week as well. You're being, what are you? Fast cash. This is such a conflicting energy. You're being closed off to the possibility of a relationship in your life. It will not change whether or not one comes to you is the thing. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Love yourself first. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah. This group, I believe, had a very damaging relationship. A lot of work has gone into healing from it. enough work and enough pain that you've recently just kind of started thinking, well, you know, it's awesome, nobody hurting me, and I should keep it this way. You can keep it that way and not be Robinson Crusoe on a deserted isle. You can allow people in, you can date, you can have romance, you can have friendships, you can allow people to get close to you. But you one of the things you're being asked to understand is not everything is meant to be permanent. I'm always saying this, we are very, very, very attached to the idea of permanence as a measure of value. Like, you could have a 6-week whirlwind relationship with somebody, learn more about yourself, learn more about your own personal power, and then that person has to go off and do their own thing, and they may never return to your life. But it still would have been one of the most worthwhile relationships she's ever had. That is not actually what I'm seeing here. If anything, your idea of happiness no longer involves other people. It is not wanting to bring more people in. You are also the person, oh my goodness, whoa. You are also the person behind a map. That's part of what this is. Because somebody injured you intentionally, you're likely an abuse victim. And I'm sorry. I am as well. So I really, really am sorry. And it does take a long time to heal from. The answer is not, oh, thank God I healed, and now I will never, ever, ever let that happen to me again. And my solution is by not really allowing myself to have another partner, allowing myself to have relationships, or even allowing myself to have, close friendships. You're on your guard. And it's not actually going to stop anything from coming into your life. It's very limiting, and it slows things down. And by the way, I'm not telling you that you need to sit around and like pine for a relationship. That's not the right energy either. But the energy of allowing that which is meant to you to come to you. And I saw something incredibly wise it was on YouTube last night, where if somebody has left your life, let them go. Just let them go. And the reason being is that they may have their own work to do. But if they want to, like, you can't force somebody to be by your side, and you can sit on a shelf and wait. It's just, if you don't, that which is truly meant for you can come to you. You right now have taken down the shelf. Instead of saying, I'm hopeful, I'm waiting, like all will come to me, you're like, no, this is good. This is better. I will just live this way, and I will be safe, and I will no longer, you just be more receptive to increase outside of a material capacity, because you keep thinking things like, and it's been your experience, I'm not scolding you, that if I just have enough money, I'll be perfectly happy. You will be. You're actually a very happy person. It doesn't take a lot, and you're willing to be content with a great deal as well, without a great deal. First of all, you're going to have kind of a lot, but your guides are cautioning you to remember that you are meant to be giving love in a healing capacity, which means you have to be willing to receive it, to really perform the functions that you want to at a high level. And you may have focused on one person, it wasn't the right person, or you may have been horribly injured by somebody in the past, but you're not actually allowing yourself to receive love any longer. And that's not just romantic love, but romantic love counts as well. Allow yourself to give and receive. Yeah, there's peril involved. Unfortunately, people are fallible and they can injure us, and we can injure them. And most of the time we don't mean to. We are not meant to have a pain-free existence, which is not the same thing as saying, oh, it happened for your highest good. Everybody who watched me for more than 5 seconds knows I take great and like pointed exception to the concept that something up there is kicking your butt for your own good. The horrible things that happen to us are not for our own good. However, having said that, we did come here to learn lessons. Sometimes we linger in the energy far too long, and sometimes trauma is inflicted upon us because there is a force that pushes back when you have healing energy, and it comes to injure you. So that's not for your highest good either, but your team will come in and try to assist you as much as humanly possible. Something it looks like almost took you out, and your decision-making process about how much you will allow in is, I will now filter everything so that I'm safe. And you're safe. You're safe anyway. You're protected. You're a very protected person. And I say that like constantly. My group has a tendency to be very, very protected. And half the time it's like people who are in almost agony saying, oh, I feel very protected. Listen, you are. Like, even if you're a little emotionally devastated, you've been given an opportunity to heal. And not everybody does actually get that. That is part of protection. You've been given an opportunity to heal and some peace in this, like nothing ever happens, at least it's been a little peaceful. Try to allow more things to come into your life in all forms. And I think you keep losing people, and it is part of the reason that you're like, no more, I'm tired of this. Remember, sometimes people need to go on their way and complete their own journey, and you've already given each other what you're meant to. Permanence is not the measure of worth. All right, that was group number 3. I'm moving on to group number 4. If you'd like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I'd love a chance to read for you in real life. Group number 3, kind of a fun, very, very lucrative and very successful energy surrounding you, but your personal walls are just a little too high. Let's go on to group number 4. Whee, fireball. All righty. I'll be editing in timestamps after the broadcast. I might be able to get to it almost immediately, or I might not. It depends on how long this pile takes. If I can't get to it immediately, it will be done in about 5 hours. And just have appointments after this. Okay, let's get going. Hey, group number 4, your candle is anointed with a manso guapo. And this is, returning lovers, luck, and reversal of finances. This is a good luck pile, is basically what it's for. It is increase and positivity and growth and happiness. We've got the pre-Raphaelite deck bringing us the predictive spread. Did I change my table time? I did. Flexible. Message in a bottle. Transform, rise above any situation, become the best version of you. We have choices in how we react. Sometimes like something will make it blow up, like, the thing that took out Pompeii. And sometimes we need to get rid of some residual angers. And so you'll have a disproportionate response. But we do normally have a choice in how we approach a situation. Like if you're trying to just be like, okay, well, that's happening and I will deal with it, instead of like, it's just helpful. The healing light, accept that what is happening is meant to be happening, basically is what that means. The vast universe and healing light, so much protection around this. Stuck energy came out with this as well. I got 3 cards for this and I was wondering why. Stuck energy, the healing light, and the vast universe. Blockages are finally dissolving. March is looking like a month of increase. The child I was meant to be. Getting back to who you are meant to be. Clear the past, heal the present. Whoa, those are related energy. These are the Dark Mirror cards. It is about our shadow influences. Because I go over this week after week, but if somebody new is joining me, it's not going to make sense to them unless I do. My collective has a bunch of empaths and psychics and people who can manifest. And it's why I will always have a small collective. I should be like that 1 to 2% of the population should be a little bit drawn to me in this psychic world. And that's it. Other than that, like people are like, she's a terrible reader. What the heck? Clear the past, heal the present. We often, and I've been saying this in group after group, and I have a feeling I'm going to need to do a video on it about this as well. We often have very, very traumatic beginnings in life. And it is not, we choose our existences, we do. And if you're wondering, why to do that? Do I hate me? No, that's not what it's about. You knew you would be coming here with more power than other people. And we have to have a challenge to that power, including what it feels like to be on the receiving end of an abuse of power. I was telling a client not that long ago that we learn our true relationship to power in the way we will treat something that is helpless to us, like our dogs, our cats, nature, anything that like we can impact it with our will, with our actions. We have this transform energy and the choices around how we will interact with things. Try to be patient, try to be kind, and try to use your powers very appropriately. And part of the reason you may have trauma in your past is you knew you needed to learn that lesson because you know your wicked levels are powerful. And you knew you needed to understand why power needs to be used appropriately. So you did give yourself a little bit of an object lesson. Try to remember that was part of it and release the pain of the past and return to the very, very powerful person you were as soon as you were born, but with a better relationship to what power is for. I have keys in trees. There's a solution to everything is what that particular card means. Abundance, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. That's the other thing we've all been getting, my goodness. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. You are deserving. Don't forget love. Tune out distractions. That is a card for focus. Message in a bottle and flexible. This is the one that like, I almost don't want to open my mouth and say it. So stuck energy, blockages are being cleared, the healing light in the vast universe, vistas are wide open, more and more is coming to you. Allow things that you have not been envisioning to enter your life. We get very attached to outcomes. And whenever I start talking about release attachment to outcomes, people get very upset because they think I'm saying, or other readers are saying, you are not going to get what you want. So let it go, something different's coming to you. Not what that means. What it does mean is that it can be exactly what you want, but it's coming to you in stages so you won't recognize it, or it's coming to you from a different direction, in a different form, and it will become what you want. Be flexible, be open, and know that even though you know what you want, the universe knows how to deliver it to you. It's a card for trust. Oh, I was also talking about why psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists are attracted to empaths. I have a feeling I need to do a video about this. It is because we possess empathy and they do not. Those personality disorders don't have empathy. Empathy is what empaths are. We're practically made out of it. It is also emotional intelligence, which is one of the keys to success in this 3D world. It's why we're preyed upon. They are predators trying to take our power. We possess something they do not have. And when you are up against one, remember that. You have an innate understanding of people that they do not. That's what they need from you. There we go. Don't, I guess, try to be enigmatic. Don't react. It's one of the ways to win. Here we go. Okay, gosh, everything's opening up anyway. Message in a bottle and love. That's lovely too. I know what that's about. Two swords in the upright. Choices, a need to make them. Ace of Pentacles in the upright, which is exactly where we want it. Get more success energy. Five of Swords. There is a conflict card on the scene. What are you? I'm going to put this in the upright is the Ace of Swords. I'm sorry, it's the Queen of Swords. I love this deck, but they don't label the cards at all. So you kind of have to be like, wait, what is this? There's usually a number, and that's about it. There we go. King of Cups. The Fool in the upright. Empress in the upright. I have the Strength card in reverse. Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Justice card in the upright. Three of Wands in reverse. Okay. What's going on here? A lot of major arcana. Not too much, but leap of faith, have faith. Boy, that's a lot of having faith. This can stand in for divinity for me. the King of Cups in the upright. It can be just a kind, loving energy as well. It can be a, water sign. It can be, as I'm always saying, I don't really call out the astrological implications of most cards because I put so many down. I have all suits on the table by the time I'm down. Lovers in the upright. Okie dokie. 10 of Swords in reverse. 10 of Cups in the upright. Complete cycles. Judgment in the upright. The Tower in the upright. Hermit in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse, 6 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse, which is where we want it. Now I'm sorry, that's the King of Wands, and this is the King of Cups in reverse, usually a narcissist. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, I would like one more. Knight of Cups in the upright. Well, that's good news. Okay, well, something is coming to a close here. You have so much divine energy on your side. Again, flexibility, message in a bottle. Clear the past, heal the present. There is a solution to absolutely everything in your life. If you can relax enough and ask for guidance. I have a very good friend who I love and adore, and we were born within like 6 days of each other. And we have an almost exact opposite existence. And I clearly, by the way, religion is not the same thing as faith. Religion is a man-made structure constructed around of faith in the divine. I clearly have a lot of faith, and I always have. Like, even though I didn't have a very easy life, I always had faith. Remember to ask for help. And that's not about sitting and praying, although it can be. It can be. If that's the way that you ask, more power to you. Remember, your guides and your angels need an invitation to intervene. So because otherwise it's interfering with our free will. They're not supposed to pull our strings like puppets. Every now and then they will. And in fact, like I've told this story before, I did a spell in February of 2019 that it was the first time in a very, very long time I had done magic because my almost ex-husband was afraid of it. So I didn't do magic any longer. I was in a desperate situation and I started doing magic again. And it was like shaking up a carbonated beverage and opening it for like how much force came in, because I hadn't really asked for help magically in a long time. And my gosh, did it ever shift reality around me. But please remember that part of manifestation is asking. It isn't just demanding and seeing and envisioning and creating. It is asking that which helps us, aids us, our connection to the collective. If you don't have faith in a divine power, that's fine. Have faith in your own connection to all souls, and that adds more power to you. If you ask for assistance, you will be amplified, magnified, and empowered. Please don't forget to ask. Oh, that's a lot of judgment, 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 judgment. That's enlightenment, truth. Happiness is all over the table here. Good choices available to you. Your ship coming in type of energy. Abundance, success. I love the way March looks. It's like dynamite. Let's go. Tower. Oh my goodness. Let's get going here. There is a change coming. There's just a change coming. That transformation, it's all very, very positive. The tower is not, it's not terrible energy. It has a tendency to carry with it like, type of images. And in fact, it can mean, hold on to your butts. We're in for it now. But it can also mean divine intervention. It can also mean like being like just absolutely astonished by something. It can also be about miracles. So remember, the tower causes a shift. It brings about a change. It brings us truth that we need. And it frequently shakes everything up, but it doesn't necessarily destroy. And I think that's where the misunderstood nature of the tower comes in. In tarot, the tower can be seen as a destructive force. It is a transformational force, and there is a difference. Things can transform beautifully, like a flower, like bursting forth. Things can transform beautifully. And you've got a lot of that around here. Oh, wow. The love card has so many flowers on it. I didn't realize I just used that imagery. Who knows? Maybe you're falling in love. Angel of Strength. There's that overcoming energy. There's just winning the day. The world, complete cycles as well. The vast universe is essentially the world. Can I get one more? I get one more, and I'd super love it if it'd pop. Okay. Action. Clarity would be lovely. No, that's not part of it. Okay, that's all that they want to give me on this. Know that there's something drawing to a close, but in a very good way. There is security in your life once again. Transformation is here. Transform with the Tower. Message in a bottle. Clear the past, heal the present. Something from the past is being released. This is a goddess's energy. The Empress can be the feminine divine. It can also be an assisting goddess. There is success all over the place here. Make good choices, make careful choices. Make careful choices moving forward. Take your time. Tune out distractions. Don't be dissuaded from a path. Don't be dissuaded from a path. Something's changing and it's good. And you've been on a very clear and definite trajectory. The shift that is here is so positive. It has the potential to kind of turn you in the wrong direction, which is not to say it's damaging. It's just that you really do. You have a purpose. That's the Judgment card as well. Try to make sure that you're honoring it, even as abundance and apparently love is coming back into your life. Keep your focus on the things that you have been trying to build. They are part of your destiny. And more is coming to you. I do think it's within the month of March, in a very, very healing fashion and an emotionally expansive fashion. And you are being asked to remember, like, stay on mission. You can relax more. You can relax more. You can take some time off. You can treat yourself. You can splurge. Just there's something that is different enough that don't change the way you do things or why you're doing them. I think there's like kind of this energy of a battle that is ending. And it's important to go and like celebrate that. But remember, like, there are other battles to be fought. And not as bitter as that, but like you're fighting for something different in this world. You're fighting to help the world be a little different. And that's a very important thing. And it's why we do choose our existences. I've been going over this with each pile. It's part of the reason that you're here. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Oh, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. The more appreciation you have in your life, the more it opens you up to gain an increase. And then I was pretty sure this is happening very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. I think you have, I saw that love card and I just kind of didn't belabor the point. I think you have a new relationship starting, or potentially the resurgence of one that is from your past. Maybe one that you've been hoping for and waiting for. But there is within, I would say, about a month period. I think it's within March personally, but like they never tell me specific timelines. Hey, and that's one other thing. And I was telling a client earlier, when we talk about how the universe doesn't understand time, when you write positions, it has to be in the present tense. When you're trying to manifest things, it has to be in the present tense. People say, because the universe doesn't understand time. No, we don't. We think time is linear. We think that it goes in a line and the past is back there and the future is over there, when in fact, time is all at once. So you could use the past tense, the future tense. It does not matter. The universe is not confused about time. We are. So it works best for us because our consciousness, there isn't actually even any proof that our consciousness doesn't go back and forth between time periods. We don't understand the structure of time. So kind of relaxing into the energy of that which is meant for us is coming to us is also an important thing to do. Lost my train of thought there just for a second. Let's see, I guess I wasn't supposed to be talking about that right at this particular moment. Thank you so much for joining me, group number 4. You do have a mission, stay on point with it. Something is trying to enter your life. Something is trying to enter your life. It does appear to be a new relationship. And I think it's been, again, it could be new, it could be old. It's love. It's love is what I'm trying to say. There's love trying to come to you. There's love trying to come to you. Don't fall back into old habits. Don't fall back into old habits. Keep everything that you worked so hard to bring into being as a focus. And it doesn't have to be your sole focus anymore. You were a little too tunnel visioned. You didn't have a lot of choice. There wasn't a lot else going on. But don't lose your focus just because there is increase and more happiness and more positivity. And for some of us, I wish it could hold true for everyone, but it is kind of a general reading. Some of us, that will be new love. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Be well. I will see you next time, and I will get to those timestamps just as soon as possible. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below, and I'd love a chance to read for you in real life. I will see you next week, and hopefully we'll have some fun occurrences.